skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. How's it going?
Hope you guys are enjoying winter so far. Unfortunately, I suffered a little bit of an injury last Friday. Caught an edge in the spot that you would least expect and slammed pretty hard, and my clavicle's in like 4 pieces right now. They're gonna put it back into 1 piece tomorrow with some extra metal. So I'll be off snow for a little bit, which is a bummer. But we're gonna keep rolling out reviews, and I'll definitely be back pretty soon. Should be a pretty quick recovery, I think. So, Bob, we're gonna talk about the Spitfire 80 RB from Nordica today.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's really fun, really cool ski. It's like a flat, high-end carving ski. We'll get to it in a moment. If you didn't know already, this is the Nordica month in our Ski Happy photo contest. So we're doing a little extra Nordica content this month. If you haven't entered that, definitely do so. You could win a pair of 2020 Enforcer 100s. We talked about it last week in the Enforcer 100 review. But yeah, if you haven't done that yet, definitely do so. And that's about it. You probably won't see a video from us next week. Enjoy the holidays. We'll be off some days next week, so take a break next week, and then we'll be right back the following week with more videos. And yeah, that's it. So Nordica Spitfire 80 RB.
Yeah.
This thing's awesome. So Nordica got rid of their GT carving series,
Which were great. It wasn't that 2 full sheets of metal, but
they had that like hex titanium bridge.
I liked them a lot. They didn't seem to ring as true to that hardcore crowd as this does.
But they were great skis. And actually, I was on the Nordica website earlier, and there's like a public comment on the page for this ski on Nordica's website, and someone's like, "Hey, what happened to the GT84? I love that ski."
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes great skis go away, but they're usually replaced with something that's, if not better, different.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to talk about this, or a good way to introduce this ski. Bob, full camber.
Full camber, tip to tail, really nice. As soon as you tip it over, that tip hooks up.
Yep.
And that tail holds it all the way through, and you just get that good snap out of that camber that, we kind of get complacent with our multiple rocker skis, and you forget what it's like to really have that ski, give you energy out of the turn that you put in.
Yeah.
And this does it as good as any of them do.
Yeah, so a lot of skis in the front side category, they have a little bit of tip rocker.
Yep.
We don't see any of that in the Spitfire 80, 100% camber.
Yep.
Which I think is really cool. And, I think camber is really important in this category.
Yep.
I would say not having any rocker at all takes a little bit of forgiveness out of it.
Yeah.
For some people, it's really like kind of doubling down on the advanced expert level. But it's really nice. I'm glad that this ski is 100% camber.
Yeah.
Dense wood core, performance wood core, 2 sheets of metal, and then their carbon bridge.
Right.
You want to tell us about that carbon bridge?
So the carbon bridge is connecting. You can almost see a line here where the carbon starts and goes up through the tips, and that really makes the tips stiffer and more engaging.
Yeah.
So for that carving ski, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, it just responds like right away.
It takes a little bit away from the all mountain prowess, but the width and the overall character of the ski kind of make up for that. So I think this is definitely a nod to that true racer that's looking for instant engagement. And I would say it gives it more of a slalom ski type of feel.
Sure. I think this is is this the 174? I think it's a 16 meter turn radius in the 174.
Pretty short.
So it's not quite GS range. It's kind of in between, but they do have a very snappy, quick turn.
And this was the length that Harrison and I tested yesterday on snow. And, I would ski the 180, and I felt like at the 174 the radius was too short for my skill set. I don't have a racing background, so I don't know how to make that slalom move. I don't have that move that a lot of these former racers have.
Which they saw at the beginning of this video. I started it with about a minute of Ryan Daniels skiing.
Ski.
Yeah. So that.
Right.
So yeah, great ski, and I'm glad you brought that up. So I tested this ski a lot last year. We had it in our ski test. After I got injured, I really wanted to do this review. and usually we go out and we test it again and film some additional content. So I tasked Bob and Harrison. I said, go take these skis, go film some runs, go kind of test them out. And it happened to be kind of a softer snow condition day, which, like, Harrison was, like, texting me that the night before, like, hey, like, do I really have to ski this ski tomorrow? Like, how many runs? Like, it's going to be a powder day. And I was like, no, like, you should still ski it. And I think it's, like, really good to test a ski like this on a day like that. Like, that's why this ski exists. Right. It's 80 underfoot instead of 68 or 72 like we see in most, like, real race carving skis. So how do you feel it did in that softer snow condition?
Great. You know, that extra surface area gives you something to push back on when the snow starts to give out. You know, that 72 or even 76 would start to push through. The 80 keeps you, I wouldn't say floating, but definitely more on top, on the surface. You just have to push. You don't have to push as hard to get it to hook up. Which was great. You know, and the snow was soft. Even if there was more snow, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. You know, it was still a blast to ski.
No, I think what I really like about this, like, sometimes when I get on a really narrow, like that 72 or 70 range, when I get on a ski like that and the snow is softer, even if you're not in a high edge angle, you still feel your boot, like, catching the snow a lot. And you get kind of like that bogged down feeling. And I found that wasn't really happening to me on this when I was skiing this in softer snow conditions, which is really nice. You get that performance-oriented carving feel, but it can handle softer snow. And like a real race feel. You know, like there are other skis out there in this 80 range in the carving ski category that aren't necessarily built with like a full race construction. So I think that's what's unique about this ski. And then it's flat. So this one we have right here is flat.
This one.
So this ski is available as both a system ski and a flat ski. Really interesting talking to Nordica. The existence of this ski as a flat ski actually came from like the internal Nordica company. Like Nordica's employees were like, "Can you make us a flat version of that?" And they did. And I'm really glad that they did because you can kind of pick and choose. So if you're picking this ski and you're just going to use it as a carving ski, only going to have it on trail, certainly nothing wrong with that system binding.
No, it was a good one.
Yeah, it's a good system binding. That FDT plate, you know, it's an XL12, like it's a good system binding. But if you want it to be more than that, if you want it to be like an all-mountain ski, you know, the first thing that I think you and I talked about this ski is like how cool would it be with a Pivot 18 just mounted flat? Like
a very unique system.
Very unique thing. I mean, that's something that you don't really see very often, and it's giving you pretty unique performance. So you're still going to get that like high level carving performance, but putting a binding like that on it, you're lower to the snow. You have better snow feel. You have lower center of gravity, which I prefer if I'm skiing moguls or anything ungroomed. And it's just, it gives it more of a all around versatile feel.
Lighter too.
And
you know, you'd mentioned in the article the flex spot. So you know, a more natural flex if you just put a regular binding on this versus the plate plus the system.
So it kind of changes the characteristic of the ski. I personally would much prefer this as a flat ski with a Pivot 18 or any other flat binding on it than as a system ski. And for me, you know, I typically, I think you are similar, we're typically on like mid-fat twin tips. And I often want a carving ski, like a dedicated carving ski in my collection, and I'd rather have this than a lot of system skis out there. So it speaks to people like us, you know, we both kind of have like a freestyle, free ride mentality. This thing's still really fun. It has kind of some of that influence in it, but it just rips carving turns. So much fun.
Pretty good in the bumps too. I took it in
really good in the bumps
yesterday and was pretty surprised.
I mean, I would like emphasize that you should be a pretty good bump skier. Bob, you're a very good bump skier.
Thanks.
So for somebody like you, it's like an awesome bump ski. If you're skiing slower speed moguls and like just slow pivots, it might be somewhat challenging for that.
The tails are stiff.
You know, you got to be pushing down the backside of the mogul for it to work well. That's about it for the
Yeah.
Spitfire 80. Anything to add?
No, just it's a unique ski out there. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I think of comparisons, and there's not really a whole lot out there.
No, and I'm glad you brought that up. Like the one ski that I like in my mind, I keep comparing it to is the Brahma 82.
Yeah.
Because Nordica and Blizzard are sister companies essentially. They're under the same parent company umbrella, and I just thought it's really interesting that Blizzard took their popular all-mountain ski, the Brahma 88, and made a narrower version of it, the Brahma 82. Nordica took a really nice system carving ski and just ripped the binding off of it, and now we have a Spitfire 80. And yes, they're different. Like the Brahma 82 is more all-mountain. Its shape is geared more towards all-mountain skiing. But it's kind of interesting that we ended up with two skis that are like fairly similar to each other, coming from two different things.
And I had the new this year's the Vocal Deacon 80
Yeah.
floating around in my head as a comparison, and it has that new lower binding on it too.
Yep.
So that would compare well to this with a flat.
Yeah, that low ride.
You know, not the same construction, kind of like the Brahma, or more similar construction to the Brahma, but still with that tip and tail rocker.
Yep.
You know, in the Deacon. So that's where the playfulness in that comes to. But that's the one I kept thinking of as a good comparison to this.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's in general, it's just cool to see this category getting some attention and some refreshing new stuff. So that's it. That's Spitfire 80. Thank
Fun
you
ski.
to
Skiing
you
was
and
fun.
Harrison for going out and skiing it.
Oh yeah, I was do it anytime.
Looked like Harrison had a blast. I don't think he often skis things like that.
No.
So it must have been fun for him.
Yeah, he likes going fast.
And yeah, have a great holiday break. Hopefully you guys get some time on snow. Hopefully I can be back on snow quickly. And we'll see you on the slopes.
Bye.